Guys, if you turn to your homework pages, I'd just like to see that you've done it quickly, please. Go get it. What is this? I'm going to give this tonight so that you can study off of what we come with. As I said, I just wanted to reiterate that. I'll be handing back some work at the end of the class today, so just stick around a little bit, but we need to get through our review sheet first. And please raise your hand, but realize that we need to get through the entire review sheet today, okay? If you have questions, please see me for extra help, or at the very least, email. Okay guys, we have not that much time left until the exam, so please see me if you need help. Again, that's on Friday. Okay, so, coming through, turning to that first page that we did not quite get to for most of us. Kevin, do you have a question? Sorry? Wait, did you have a question or no? Okay. Oh, you did? Okay. So first of all, let's go over what we had for homework, okay? Why does something's true name give wizards so much? Okay, so we're thinking kind of outside of the strict sense of the book.
So, like, a wizard's first name, it's really important to them because it kind of like defines who they are and it like tells who they are. It has a meaning to them.
Okay.
It's very special, and they should like only share it with their closest peers, such as their family, and occasionally their really close friends.
Okay, and what sorts of things have true? Just Dooney? Only Dooney has a true
Oh
name?
no, not Dooney.
Just people?
Everything. Like islands, places.
Good, so absolutely everything in our world here has some sort of name. So it has a given, you know, I call you Ollie and you're Ollie, but then there's the true name, which is Oliver, for instance. It's not that sort of thing, but that sort of.
Yeah.
Make sense, guys? Good. But it defines who they are actually, okay? The true name is actually who they are. It gives that special control over what this thing is. Kevin, do you have anything to add to that? Team control, Thomas?
It means you've researched them to like the books and you know every last thing.
Good. That's a really good point, okay? Remember, guys, we have to research everything about it's told its true name. Okay, I believe a giant says that. Am I wrong? Yeah, a giant says that to our protagonist. What type of narrator tells the story? Quickly. Yeah, John.
It's kind of like, we're going to do like third person, second person, like, whenever he goes into like the minds of like Lenny, George, and like, shows their point of view.
Okay. So first, second, does that really exist? Second person narration? Why does that not exist? Or why is that at least extremely difficult?
Because that's within the dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, first person is like, you should go and you think. And then
Third person is like they are.
Right,
We go to each other's
Kevin,
minds,
raise
so
your
like,
hands.
sometimes it's Lenny, sometimes it's George narrating.
No, that's dialogue.
Okay. What is a narrator then, guys? Right, okay. Moving on from that, okay, is dialogue part of the story?
Yes.
Okay, it is. Is the narrator telling the dialogue, or is the person speaking?
The person speaking is like actually.
Are they, or are they just telling what that
The
person is saying.
narrator is saying what
Yeah.
the person is saying with dialogue.
Yes, okay, so that's an important distinction, guys. The narrator is saying what the person is saying.
Yeah.
The narrator does not become the person who is speaking. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That distinction? Okay. So we've talked about first and third person narrators. Is this a first person or a third person narrator?
Third person.
This is basically
It's
like
third.
one-
Jack Terrio, why is it a third person narrator?
Because it's not like first person, it's not first person that's saying it. And then third person is like when they're watching over them, and to see what they're doing, saying what they're doing.
Correct. So it's some unknown kind of higher being looking upon the scene. And we talked a little bit about omniscient narrators. What does omniscient mean, Jack?
It's seeing all and knowing all. The
Okay, and is
type of
this-
narrator?
Is this an omniscient narrator here?
No, it's narrator, not omniscient.
Why do you say that?
Because the reader doesn't know what the characters are thinking.
People inside
Good.
the
But where do we see maybe one instance that we talked about maybe where it does that?
At the end, where Lenny is thinking himself and the narrator takes the reader inside his thoughts.
Do we still see inside the thoughts, or is it kind of a little different?
Well, I guess the thoughts become real. I guess they're all just thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, so there's pretty much a huge bunny. Remember, guys, that huge, giant, talking bunny?
Yeah.
And it's on.
Is that actually real?
No, that's just
No,
No,
that's
it's kind of fake.
mine, yeah.
That's
But-
how he thinks.
Yeah, it's still coming kind of from Lenny's mind. So that's really the only exception. Otherwise, we only see what's happening in front of us and nothing else. Okay. Anything else to add to this? Good. Who are the protagonists of the story, and what is their background, Jason?
George and Lenny are protagonists.
Okay. So George and Lenny. And why do you say that they're protagonists? What is a protagonist, first of all?
They're the main characters.
Good. Okay. And what makes them main characters? Why do you say that?
Because they're always the one who are like almost explain.
Okay. So why is it not, let's say, like Slim? Like Slim plays a pretty big part in the story, right?
Since like not in like every scene of like their own.
It's not based around them.
Does the protagonist have to be in? No, but they're probably going to be in.
It's like
He's mean.
He's arguably
Does that
the
exclude him from being?
Protagonist because he's like against George and Lenny and he's causing problems for George and Lenny.
Okay. So he could be the what?
Antagonist.
Okay. So then we have Curly as maybe a candidate for antagonist. Okay.
Yeah.
And Thomas, what does antagonist mean?
It's kind of like
Driving force against the protagonist, the thing that makes life difficult for the protagonist, the thing that's going.
I have something different for the antagonist.
Okay, what do you think?
I think that it's not Lenny that's the protagonist, but it's
Okay, why do you say that?
because he can't really control his actions, so his actions are kind of like its own category.
Okay.
And so when he's not controlling his actions, he can do really bad things. I guess he's lost in trouble. And the entire book, George, who's like the main protagonist, I think, is trying to go against these bad actions.
he's trying to help.
Okay.
I
I think that's pretty well said, guys. Would you agree or disagree with that? Okay, so that's an argument that we can make. If we just said Lenny's actions are the antagonist, and then cut it out after that, I wouldn't really know what you're saying. You would have to explain it a
It's
little bit.
also
But
like-
if you take the time to explain it, that's what we're looking for.
It's like
Yes,
the
Holly.
things that cause Lenny's actions can be the antagonist as well.
such as Curly's wife at the end.
Sure, but don't things kind of just happen to Lenny?
Well,
Unfortunately.
yeah, without a fetus, that's the hair, and she
That started almost.
Who's she?
I said that I think Vinny is the head of antagonist because just one of the reasons that started the conflict.
Okay. Yeah, you can say that too. If you have an explanation, guys, you can say that. Okay, so it could be just George, it could be just Lenny, it could be the combination of the two, because they are together. If you make an argument for that and explain yourself, you're going to have more of a case. Okay? What is their background really fast? What is their background, Sean?
Well, they travel together and they don't have a lot of money and they wander from farm to farm.
Okay, and what's yeah, so 1930s,
Yeah.
remember? And right, and what's the location basically? Cali. Okay, California, rural California. Okay, not Los Angeles, rural California. You had to choose one character in the story, so we just talked about this pretty much, essentially. Anyone want to add to that, maybe? What about Curly's wife, maybe?
Yeah,
I said that.
I said Curly's wife.
Yeah, I think I put Curly's one.
Okay, so Curly's wife too. Why do you say that, Ollie and John?
Because she caused the main conflict at the end.
Yeah,
Which made what happened to Lenny happen.
I think it's
Which made it good.
because Lenny doesn't know better and she like taunts the boys.
Yeah.
And when Lenny was like harassing like crooks and all that.
Yeah.
As well as like trying like and she's very flirty and like unloyal to Curly.
Okay.
I think
Playing devil's advocate, is Curly's wife a large character in
Yeah.
the whole story?
No.
In the whole story.
no, that's what's at the end.
Plus, I think
Lenny's
something
yeah.
Hold on, guys, I want John to think this through.
Yeah, I know. Well, not the whole story, but a lot of it.
A lot. Right? Okay. So that's just an argument maybe against that, but that's okay. If you can maybe defend yourself against that sort of argument, you'll have an even better argument yourself. Okay, Jack.
I think it's, you know, Jack also does too, that's Lenny, you know,
Okay.
because when he's trying to, like, attach the hair, he can't control it, it's not Curly that's, like, saying, oh, you use this whole other.
Sure. Kevin, you want
Even
to?
before the ranch, when the kids, she also caught. She already started like.
There's a weed too, like, when
She
Right, but was Curly's wife in Weed though?
that's.
No.
No. Okay.
But this
So-
incident happened in the weed as well. So it's bad, but it still happened enough to make it.
She did so that.
Okay. I also really want to point out before we move on that it's important to distinguish between Lenny and Lenny's actions because those are two different things. Is Lenny himself a nice guy? Yeah, he probably is. But are Lenny's actions nice?
Yeah.
No. Okay. And exactly.
That's like one of her personality.
Okay. Lenny cannot control his actions, and that's what's scary and sad. We also see discrimination, guys,
Yeah.
in this story. Where do we see that? And what do we have to think about? Yeah, right.
Well, Crooks is probably the most discriminated person in the book.
Discriminated against. So why do you say that?
Well, because he's not in the bunkhouse with all the other people. He's like in his own separate room in like the barn.
Okay. Why else do you say that?
Well, because they don't like. Oh, well, everyone else who's in the story.
Because of the color of the skin.
Yes. Okay, and what's maybe one interaction that we have that really proves that?
Yeah.
Hold on, Riley.
Well, I guess, yeah, with Curly's wife, where
What does she do to him?
she threatens to get him hanged. because he is black, so she can just do it because.
The whole interaction.
Well, Crook stands up to her and then she just like,
She just starts going at it.
yeah.
Right, Crooks is pretty much like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And she fights right back, and he
Exactly.
has no choice but to kind of back down, which is really unfortunate. Do we have anyone else who is discriminated against, Jack?
I actually feel Lenny is because
Okay, why